Hi everybody, Golden Era Bookworm here, and today we continue with the Ken Waller series, and in today's interview, Ken describes the methods used by Golden Era bodybuilders to train abdominals, specifically talking about how he changed his methods over the years to clinch the 1975 Mr. Universe competition, which he famously won in pumping iron against Mike Katz. He also introduces us to his form of training when he first arrived to California. Enjoy. Moving away from food now, and what was then, like you've talked about the exercises, the routine that you used back early on in your career, but what was your exercise routine, especially in your off-season training when you were now in California? Was it similar to your early training, or was it a bit different?
No, it was completely different. Now, I would, it's funny because when I first went to Gold's Gym, Dave Draper was in there.
Yeah.
And I didn't know a lot about training. And I'd seen pictures of Dave Draper in the magazines and stuff. So I watched him, and everything he did, I did.
Right.
And somebody told me, he's going to get mad at you. I said, well, I'm going to do it anyway because I want to know what's going on. So I would watch other bodybuilders in there, and I would pick up their exercises and watch what they were doing, and then I would do it. And that's how I picked up all the exercises.
Okay.
And I also, back then, there was a guy, and this was the dumbest thing I've ever done. I would, since I ran the gym back then, I would sit in there for 45 minutes and do twists and Roman chair sit-ups for 45 minutes and then eat like a pig. Well, finally when in the 75 Mr. Universe, I changed all that.
Yeah.
I did maybe 5 minutes total of sit-ups, and that was it.
Yeah.
And I got more muscular just by watching the diet.
Absolutely.
I think you can do all the sit-ups stuff you want to. If you don't watch your diet, it's not going to really make a difference.
Exactly.
I've come to the conclusion that now it's nutrition more than anything else. But I could not be eating every 2 hours, measuring food out and all that kind of stuff. To me, that is just crazy.
So as we have heard from Ken Waller, he not only talks about his abdominal training, but how he started training when he arrived in Gold's Gym. When he first came out to California, he didn't know how to train, so he watched Dave Draper and copied what he did, and he also copied what other bodybuilders did. Ken also admits to the errors that he and other Golden Era bodybuilders made back then, being ignorant of the importance of diet to get cut. He would initially train abdominals 45 minutes a day, doing exercises like twists and Roman chair sit-ups, and then eat like crap. Later, for the 1975 Mr. Universe, he discovered that training less, like just doing 5 minutes of sit-ups, was enough, and watching the diet was way more important. Back in the 1950s, 60s and 70s, the only trainer that advocated this type of training was Vince Gironda, and he came out with several publications that teach this specific and systematic form of training to bring out the abdominals, such as his 6-week abdominals course and several others. And these booklets can be found on my website, and they do focus on training the abdominals like any other muscle group, but with a great importance on cutting down the excess subcutaneous body fat through dietary recommendations. And I can tell you that they very much work. They work very, very well, as I have used them myself and on my clients successfully by customizing the routines and diet to each individual correctly with great results. If interested in my online coaching program, get in touch. So that was Ken Waller on the methods of training abdominals in the Golden Era. And if you have enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe, and leave me your comments. In the following Ken Waller interview, Ken Waller shares his opinion on gyms back in the 1970s versus nowadays, and you don't want to miss this no-holds-barred interview with Ken Waller. That's it from me. This is the Golden Era Bookworm saying bye for now. Head to www.goldenerabookworm.com for the biggest range of classic old-school bodybuilding books as ebooks, e-magazines such as Iron Man and Reg Park Journal, high-quality bodybuilding posters of the Golden Era stars, merchandise and classic gymwear featuring Steve Reeves, Marvin Eder, John Grimmick, Reg Park, and many other Golden Era stars. For those wishing to build a classic physique, lose fat and build muscle, online training is also available. Collectibles such as rare autographed photos from the Golden Era stars are also available, and to collaborate, please get in touch. Now, if you're interested in learning more about Vince Gironda's approach to bodybuilding, his principles, and all these tips of wisdom that he has, I mean, there's so much stuff that probably hasn't been proven by science, and it will take science to prove or disprove Vince. But to be honest, these 3 books, I believe, which I call the Classic Physique Bundle, are the best books that Vince ever came out with. And they, of course, are the Wild Physique, the Master Series, and the Pro Series. Have a look at it this way. The Wild Physique, I believe, is like the ABCs of Vince Gironda's principles to bodybuilding. He teaches you the exercises and his principles. But how do you put them together? Well, the Master Series is a 14-month program of using all of these principles, all of the diets that Vince came out with, all of the exercises. And of course, the Pro Series was a book that he came out with later on, specially targeted for getting into competition. It's just these 3 books, as I call it, the Classic Physique Bundle, Vince's best work, and available, of course, at www.goldenerabookworm.com.